Hey, welcome in, everybody. We're doing kind of a weekly review. It's a short trading week. Obviously, it's a half day today. Tomorrow, we're off and enjoying and celebrating July 4th, so we wanted to do something fun and come to you guys because we do have some issues in our country. We have all kinds of stuff going on, whether people are talking about the debates or all these different things, but I think we still live in the greatest country in the world.
By far.
We just wanted to talk about that. So I know you have some stories and things that you like to share, and you've shared them before, but I think it's important to do this on the day before July 4th.
Well, and I think it's appropriate as you are about to embark upon your very first trip to New York City, and we have the opportunity. We've told the friends at home that we'll both have the opportunity of being interviewed on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. So that's amazing. One of the thanks for the opportunity, Logan. So Logan came up with this idea and said, "Hey, we need to bring a video and not just talk about challenges that we see happening in the market, but let's talk about some of the positives." And I think that's so important. It brings me back. I have to go all the way back to when I was 12 years old. Many of you know that my family has been involved in the financial markets going all the way back to the 1900s. My great-great-grandfather was a broker on the floor of the exchange where we're actually going to be leading into and throughout the 1929 stock market crash. He actually stayed in business. This is a unique story. He had an apartment in the city that he owned and a house he was very successful in Long Island. Both of them were gone. He moved into, tenement housing. My grandmother, these are his two kids, my grandmother and my great-uncle were shipped to a family farm to live, like a lot of kids were, I think, in the city, to live through the late 29, early 30s. And he stayed in the city to start to rebuild his business. Wow. He was a successful broker all the way through the 1950s when he sold his firm. That inspired my father to join the business. He entered the business in the 1970s. He was a broker with Merrill Lynch. He ultimately shifted to Prudential. Prudential was merged with Beige, and then he ultimately went on his own in the 90s. So growing up, I was in and around the business, watching Louis Rukeyser on the TVs on Friday night, Wall Street Week. It was just, all around me. But the real transition happened, and this is what I want to talk about, is when I was 12 years old, my sister and I were given shares of McDonald's. And she, could care less. She's like, whatever, no big deal. Me, that was transformational. Yeah. And it was transformational because I realized that I had an ownership stake in our local McDonald's. Yeah. Now, at the time, McDonald's was a big deal. Like, now it's on every corner. And I don't even think at the time they had a drive-thru. You would go to McDonald's when you won a big game, when you got straight A's, when you were celebrating a birthday. We used to have birthday parties there. So it was a big deal. And so owning shares in this company, a great American brand, I would show up. They would send you a coupon. All of you McDonald's shareholders remember this. They would send you in your annual report a coupon for a hamburger. So I would get that coupon.
No cheeseburger?
No. It's ridiculous. But, hey, as a shareholder, I was okay with that. I'd pay the 10 cents or whatever it was for cheese. I would go in there. I might get a cheeseburger today. You know the last time I've had a McDonald's cheeseburger? I might do that on the way home today. I don't even know if it's still real burger meat anymore. Anyways, I would take in my coupon. It's a shareholder coupon. I would get it. I would get a Coke, my fries. And then I would ask the manager how business was. Legitimately. People think I'm making this up. I didn't. My mother would roll her eyes, and I would have a conversation because I wanted to know how business was. But for me, it was transformational. It got me into the business. It was literally laid the foundation. But let's remember how that's even possible. People forget this. In America, we have the greatest capital markets in the world. We have the ability for a Ray Kroc who stumbles upon an existing burger idea and says, we're going to take this to the next level. We're not going to open one. We're not going to open 5. We're going to try to open 50. Now imagine going to a banker, loan officer, and saying, I have an idea for a fast food chain to sell cheeseburgers. Well, okay, that's not innovating. Who cares about that? That's no big deal. Very hard for a bank to take a risk. Now, I'm sure there were loans in place for the first few, and there was this and that and the other. But when you want to really expand in our country, when Sam Walton wanted to expand Walmart, when Ray Kroc wanted to expand McDonald's, when Henry Ford wanted to expand Ford, what they did was they brought in other owners, stock owners. They had an initial public offering, allowing people throughout the United States to go, I believe in Henry Ford. I believe in Sam Walton. I knew of original Walmart shareholder, long since passed. She told me that Sam Walton would drive around their area in Arkansas and show up in his pickup with his overalls to meet and greet early investors and shareholders. Awesome. Sam Walton, Henry Ford, Ray Kroc, you name it. You have the opportunity to buy into someone's dream, someone who's executing in this country to potentially build a great American company. Only in America this happens. How about today?
Yeah, exactly. It's still going on today.
I mean, let us not forget. This is what drives me nuts about people in markets today. Oh, my Nvidia is up 10 points, or, what the heck's going on with the market? I'm down 5%. Okay. Are we investors in Apple, founded by Steve Jobs, rest his soul, who had to come back and reemerge? Are we investing in Apple, the technology we use every single day? Are we investing in Bill Gates' Microsoft, one of the big, if not, depending on the day, the largest company to this day, founded by an entrepreneur? How about Tesla? Admittedly a shareholder, a fanboy of Elon, love him or hate him, I don't care. You have the ability to buy into great American companies. So yes, we can have the most ridiculous debate I've ever seen on television. Absurd. I mean, both sides. Yeah. We can have debt issues in America that are problematic. We can have today's economic data that came out literally this morning. I'll be writing about that on Friday. It was the worst since COVID. Challenges in our country. But let us not forget, it's still the country where you can have an idea, you can take it to market, you can bring in investors who can then participate with your success and potentially change the world. That's the great American country that I know.
That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that.
I
hope everybody out there just has a fantastic July 4th and celebrates this country for what it is. And it's a fantastic place. We are so blessed to be here.
I want to add one thing. That was so much fun. Logan's like, let's shoot a video about America and tell some stories. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'd be remiss not to mention, I think this is so important. My one person in my lineage who was not in the markets was my grandfather.
Okay.
My grandfather, at the age of 17, not 18, forged his mother's signature and enlisted in the Marines. He stormed the beach at Iwo Jima in World War II, was an American hero, came home, part of the greatest generation, had nothing, wanting to do nothing with finances and so on and so forth, ran a department store, helped build a local golf course, was a volunteer fireman. I mean, did it all, was part of the greatest American generation. We cannot forget what was sacrificed for us to do what we do every day.
Yep.
To be able to buy and sell and own these companies, participate in these entrepreneurial ideas and dreams. Again, that's the America that I know, that I love. So happy 4th. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you soon.